Hi guys, welcome to my channel. Thanks for tuning in again. I just wanted to do a really quick video on a couple of things. And if you like the video, please subscribe, share it, like it, comment. I would love to hear from you guys. It's been pretty fun doing some commentary back and forth, and I love to meet new people. So thank you so much for engaging with my channel. Okay, so first things first, I want to pronounce Kareeza the right way. I've been saying Kareeza, and after doing some research, I actually figured out that I am saying it wrong. I thought some people just say it differently, but it is Kareeza. This was actually discovered by somebody from like 1844, I think the year was. His name was John Humphrey Noyes, and I guess he was married and he decided to try to do different things to spice up his love life and bring him closer to his spouse. And so then eventually down the road, someone wrote a book about it in 1931. So the book was by John William Lloyd. I forget the title of it, but he basically talks about it in depth. And then there was a woman who basically brought more awareness to America about it, I guess. So anyways, so it's Kareeza. And so I just wanted to kind of dive into it real quick. So the emphasis is on bonding, and it's very interesting because there's a lot of research on bonding with children, for example, like when a mother has a baby and she has skin to skin, it's like incredibly bonding. Well, I guess just as being human beings, that's like how we bond with one another, and it's like one of the most deepest ways to bond. And it increases the levels of oxytocin. And there's 4 different neurotransmitters, they're called, that are responsible for being happy. And one is dopamine, the other is oxytocin. Then there's serotonin and epinephrine. Wait, no, wrong one. Hold on. Endorphins. That's it. So endorphins are when you're working out. Dopamine, we've already talked about that. That's when you are, let's say there's a monkey and he sees a banana and he knows he can get it, but he just has to keep trying a little bit further and a little bit further, and then you finally reach that peak. That huge dopamine release happens when he finally gets the banana, and there we are, dopamine. It's definitely a goal-driven one. And then there's serotonin, that is responsible for not only immunity, but it's also a receptor. It's one of those things that keeps us out of depression. I have to dive a little bit deeper into it. Serotonin is that's why they have people who are clinically diagnosed with depression on SSRIs. Those are selective serotonin reuptake inhibitors. And that's basically what it's doing, is it's recirculating the serotonin that's already in your body. So let's just guess which one of those happy neurotransmitters Kareeza actually encourages. It is not dopamine. Okay, our typical response for, or a widely accepted thing is, oh, let's do it and reach our peak and be done. But that is not the case with Kareeza, right? Kareeza is actually, so that type of behavior with regards to lovemaking is more of a release of dopamine. And it can cause actual addictions, which is also another reason why I wanted to do this video, because a lot of times, when you are watching porn, that is something where obviously you're doing it for a release majority of the time. And you basically continually have to chase that carrot because you keep wanting that finish. You keep wanting that high of dopamine release, right? And let me tell you, it is a vicious circle, and I will definitely do a video on that one. Okay, so, but what it actually is doing, what Kareeza does, is it releases oxytocin, and it's like a slow drip. It's a beautiful thing. It's, that's also just, I think it's the skin to skin as well. That increases bonding. But the oxytocin is something that's so wonderful, creating a gratitude type of experience. Remember, when you are doing Kareeza, it's not about the finish, right? We all talk about that. And that's what's so beautiful about this. And that's why I wanted to share it. So one of the things I also wanted to touch on is through my research, I have noticed that there is a 2-week downtime when you finish. If you are, married, you have your significant other, there is actually a 2-week down period. And there has been studies done where you actually, like, your significant other, your spouse, feels actually different even about you. It's a neurological thing. It's a psychological thing, for 2 weeks. And I can actually attest to that because my husband and I, we've kind of gone through like cycles sometimes of, obviously, like, no one's relationship is perfect, right? And so, for example, one of the things that had happened like last month is we had the flu. There was all this crazy stuff. But prior to that, because we have a lot of little kids under 7, so we got sick with them, unfortunately. We really tried to avoid it. But so it was just interesting because we had just had relations, and we did not do Kareeza, and like the majority of the time we are doing that. And sometimes, as you've watched in my other videos, we can't, because we just can't stop making love. So we have to somehow end it. And we're so enthralled in one another when it's happening that we had to say, okay, we need to finish, because this is just going to go on for additional hours. And so if you really have a good flow of Kareeza, like, it can go on for hours. And this is what I'm going to say about that though. The next day, so my husband and I had finished. This is a couple days ago. And we wound up ending the lovemaking through orgasm, which is not something that I totally recommend, but it was something that we did because we couldn't stop. And so what happened, so I had experienced multiple things, and he had experienced as well. And so what wound up happening is the connection was a little less magnetic throughout the following day. And I'm actually, even though we had done stuff last night, which with Kareeza, it's crazy because you will want to do it all the time. And I highly recommend this for women, because there are women out there that just like they consider it a chore, and it is just like so heartbreaking to me. Oh my goodness. If you can somehow get your partner on board, if you are a woman, you can get your partner on board to do Kareeza. It is one of the most amazing, mind-blowing experiences with your spouse, okay? Like, this is something that will not be a chore, okay? I don't know why it ever was deemed as such. Apparently it is the dopamine crash. It's the 2-week refractory period, whatever, but it is not acceptable. If you are a woman watching this, oh my goodness, get your man on board, because it is a completely different experience. Okay, so Kareeza, highly recommend it. So what I was going to say about the 2-day thing was, actually, even though we had made love last night, I was a lot more tired, and it was because of 2 days prior. I was a lot less motivated. I was kind of like not as magnetically attached to my husband when that happened. And I feel bad because we could still have this like much more of a pull towards each other, and we did have to end it the other night. And so I definitely know what we're talking about with regards to the refractory period. So the 2-week thing is also true. You do go through a regenerative process. So if you can, I hope this video has helped you in some sort of way. I hope to answer any of the questions that people are thinking. And maybe this has helped some girls and helped some gentlemen. And if you are one of them, please give it a thumbs up. Thanks. Have a great day.